He's doing well. John would have. Once we stand up or once we go.
You pushing how many?
Pen. That's why they put a this guy.
Honourable members, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, you may ask him, Honourable member belong okapa by me, sing out in prayer.
Thank you, Father God, in the heaven. You put the Lord, and like your big name, your glory and honor is in you. You stop, and Allah something that we stop, we place the left for you. Father God, we block at the leader stop in the honorable house, me block walkman blue you. Me block walkman blue you, los seven people blow the physical side. They got walkman blue you stop. We also seven more people blow the spiritual side. Father God, this is the time you may come boom. You give us some time, let's stop the place. Now, make him also walk, but make him the same people, me plan, and now you let's sit down, I'm waiting to talk. The bring good Lolo. Send more people, me plan. Papa God, me put them on leaders, opposition, come to handle you, leader, government side, come to handle you. Papa God, me plan, walk man, blow you. It's all heart and heart from me plan, Papa God. You shall on the bell, not in it, no mipla. Mipla is stop, no making walk no you, no give big name, no glory. Now honor you, you, the same more people, no or some chief servant, no. One of this love, Papa God, me to thank you, no, like you moga to join him. Tintin, no one bell, no, you know, Kimbetan, you learn me blowing. Our disciples, no, me blowing. You may pray. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Honourable members, I have to announce that I have received the return to the writs which His Excellency the Governor General had issued on the 25th day of April 2024 for a by-election of a member to fill the vacant office of the member for the Maprik Open Electorate following the death of the late member, Mr. Gabriel Caprice, and that by the endorsement on the writ, it was certified that Mr. Libet Caprice was duly elected as member for Maprik Open Electorate. And B, for a by-election of a member to fill the vacant office of the member for Sohe Open Electorate following the declaration of the National Court in a court of disputed returns, and that by the endorsement on the writ, it was certified that Mr. Henry Jones Amuli was duly elected as member for Sohe Open Electorate. Honourable members, I have to inform the Parliament that on the 22nd August 2024, the National Court ordered that 1. Leave is granted to the plaintiff to withdraw the notice of motion filed on the 3rd July 2024. 2. Until further notice pursuant to Order 16, Rule 3, Subsection 8, A and B of the National Court Rules, and after grant of leave in favor of the plaintiff by the Supreme Court in appeal, SCM number 26 of 2023, to apply for judicial review over the first defendant's decision, made on 28 February 2023 and 5th May 2023. And pursuant to Section 1554 of the Constitution, A, the above briefed decisions of the first defendants are stayed, and B, as the proceedings of the first defendant has been completed, any suspension of the plaintiff pursuant to Section 28(1) of the Organic Law on the duties and responsibilities of leadership deemed or otherwise is stayed, and C, for the avoidance of ambiguity, until further orders, the defendants are restrained from not permitting the plaintiff to serve as a member for Medang Open electorate in the National Parliament. Honorable members, desla now mami kanim lo talk pisin. Desla house em standing ora blongan emi talk long. Look sabe lo tripla talk less you can talk him inside lo desla param. Em English talk pisin or more too. So all honorable members, me now like talk clear lo desla long. Decision belong Supreme Court lo last Parliament yumi bin start ino bin gat hamamasi kamap na yumi kirap na yumi go na yumi online long hansut hankais flumi armi aswa ikolong court now sema leader of the opposition Honorable Douglas Tummersi member of Kiruna good enough emi kisim na sila na yumi go court. Decision block court come out finish. Clear lo yumi okata. Court emi wogim decision blongen ino lo talk private business committee want them me also speaker right or wrong no gat. Emi talk emi make him decision based lo look long and long independence lo hanok lo gapman. Na decision blongen i based lo desplalaga. Emi based lo desfla na non come inside law process na procedure law parliament all some decision em to clear lo imi na me believe me yet me hamamas so decision law court na me believe you bla two you me all get hamamas one bell long this decision law court lo desfla all sem na lo last parliament me been talk out all sem suppose court emi painim committee na private business committee na mi wrong, mi tenderin resignation lami. Desla mi talk out dia lo kata papa ni gini. But now court no talk out. Emi pasi mau so despla. Also mi talk finish has lo decision e kamam lo desla so mi no karim resignation le tai kam now so. Also mi mas talk dia lo papa ni gini lo watch stop. Na only like him ba plan di talk mi mas resign. But this is an local di kami no talk me wrong, committee wrong, na also na mi na resign. Am I right? Para good lah, mi hamamas. Istavier lo despla, mi like talk clear to lo yumi, long despla house also. Country now will watch him yumi, papa ni gini. Over the line lo yumi lo place, inside all house place lo yumi, all papa mama na line will look yumi start. Na mix him talk long up man also. But you missing down 2 week. Lord is la house ya. Also na me look lo you blow line o han kais flo me. Suppose this la paper long this la VONC i ready by 10 o'clock tomorrow. And me must kiss him. Country ilu like look savelo you me must process him this la. So he must come na private members committee by dilongan lo 12 o'clock. Na over something alright, you may put him on notice paper. Na ponde, and now is the notice paper. Na you may care up na after 7 day or 1 week. You may come back na process him. Na me believe this line country like him this line must come out. So missing out lo you blow line lo you me lo upside lo hand kais lo me this la paper long notice ya kissimi come by 10 o'clock tomorrow. Me must kiss him. Because parliament like sit lo 2 week. Na lo despla and missing out lo straight him na ikam na me understand to all sem honorable highwayta governor lo imi kusara mi member lo private business committee inoga thinking lo senesim emi mastap lo committee all sem makim yubla line lo imi lo opposition short but by part longen na mi sabe when em issues o committee raised him last time emi sabe na mi believe all sem there's a notice by kam mo ka sending by straight na you may just process him. So one of the slam talk sabe lo siego lo ibla. Thank you. All honorable members, me too like informing Parliament also behind him section 110 of the Constitution and certifying two legislations where Parliament law Parliament ikamapim. Now list for this act by ikamap long paper lo tete all minutes lo proceedings for today. Honorable members, I wish to inform Parliament that the pallbearers carrying the casket of the late Honorable Simon Dumarinu, MP, member for Central Bougainville Open Electorate, will be admitted into the chamber. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Honorable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I move that this Parliament expresses its deep regret at the death of the Honorable Simon Dumarino, the member for Central Bougainville Open Electorate on the 9th of August 2024, and places on record its appreciation for his
All honorable members, suppose you get telephone, mobile phone, you block, stop close to the system, no goodbye on mobile phones. So you mean browsing along with the switch him off on him now. Let me go ahead with the program. Honorable Prime Minister.
All right, thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to move that this Parliament express our deep regret and sorrow at the passing of the Honorable Simon Dumarino, the member for Central Bougainville, who passed on the 9th of August 2024. And we want to place on record our appreciation for his meritorious public service, and we want to tender our profound sympathy to his family, his people of Central Bougainville, and Bougainville as a whole for his untimely passing and in the moment of bereavement.
Make your speech.
Mr. Speaker and honorable members, friends, family, people of Bougainville, the President of the Autonomous Bougainville Government, the regional member of Bougainville, and all Papua New Guineans. We gather today to celebrate and mourn the life and legacy of a remarkable individual, the Honorable Father Simon Dumarino, the member for Central Bougainville. His passing leaves a void in our hearts, but his selfless dedication to serving others will be forever etched in our memories. As a Catholic priest, Father Simon embodied the spirit of service, I beg your pardon. As a Catholic priest, Father Simon embodied the spirit of service, compassion, and love. He brought the same spirit into his public office, touching countless lives and making a lasting impact to his community. As a speaker, 2 days before he passed, I had an opportunity to meet him in my office. He spoke of his great love for Bougainville, Central Bougainville, and Papua New Guinea. And he spoke of his continuous desire to serve in between all of us. And I replied to him, "Leader, you carry a sick heart." It was known to me that he had a medical procedure in his own heart. And I asked him to take it easy in his work. But like many of you leaders who are here in this Parliament, at the peril of our own lives, we soldier on and we continue to work on. He said he will go to Bougainville the next day, and we were to meet on the Friday upon his return. Little did I know it was his last time. And I want to place on record our government and Parliament's appreciation of his great service to both Bougainville and to our country. He was a senior member of the STB party, and I want to pass our profound sadness to Governor Parkop, the leader of the STB party, and all supporters and followers and members of STB party. In his strong contribution in the STB party, he wanted us to find a lasting solution to the Bougainville issue that keeps hanging in our parliament. For during the tumultuous years of the Bougainville crisis, Father Simon stood as a beacon of hope and peace. As the senior priest then in Bougainville, he bravely facilitated dialogue between warring factions, seeking reconciliation and end to the violence. His tireless efforts are a testament to his unwavering commitment to peace and unity. As Matthew 5 verse 9 reminds us, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Today we mourn the loss of a true son of God who dedicated his life to serving others and bringing peace to those around him. Father Simon's legacy extends far beyond his accomplishments as a politician. He inspired a generation of leaders to follow in his footsteps, to prioritize the needs of others above self, and to strive for peace and understanding. As we bid farewell, Mr. Speaker, to this extraordinary individual, simple as he may be, but he was truly extraordinary in the cause for peace. We take comfort in the knowledge that his selfless spirit will continue to inspire all of us. May his life serve as a reminder that true leadership is about serving others, and that peace is always within reach if we work towards it. Rest in peace, the late Honorable Father Simon de Mariniu. Your legacy will never be forgotten. And on behalf of Pango Party, members of Parliament, and supporters throughout our length and breadth of our country, including Bougainville, we want to say thank you for your honorable service to our coalition government. Rest in peace.
The Honourable Opposition Leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to, on behalf of the opposition, would like to concur with the Prime Minister this afternoon in paying our respects to the late leader. Mr. Speaker, the leaders of Bougainville who are here in this house today with us, and those back in Bougainville, to the late leader's family, the people of Bougainville, the people of Papua New Guinea, and especially to the Catholic faith family, both in Bougainville and in Papua New Guinea. He would be today one of the proudest leaders as a priest himself, to sit in this house and wait patiently for the arrival of the leader of the Catholic Church, who will be arriving in our land in a few days' time. However, like the priest who shared the word of God today at the St. Joseph's Catholic Church, from the book of Ecclesiastes, he said, there is time for everything. A time to be born and a time to die. And the message today by the priest at the Catholic Church was a wonderful message, fitting for such a man, a leader like the late member who is in rest before us. A very decent, respectful, and humble leader, Mr. Speaker. A human being, and especially as a leader who was called to be a leader very early in life. We heard today that his father was a leader in the church, in the Catholic Church, and he followed suit in the footsteps of his father to be a priest himself, and another sibling in the family who happened to be a priest as well. And so we know from the stories that we heard today that this person was destined to be a leader amongst his people. Mr. Speaker, for that very reason, he was chosen and elected to represent his people in this House for 2 consecutive terms. Mr. Speaker, our late brother and leader for the people of Bougainville is bigger and larger than life of a person, both in character, in all walks of life, of his life. I had the rare opportunity, like the Prime Minister himself, to meet him a week before his passing. We happened to be in the same shop at the same time. He was served at another counter, I was in the other counter. And like I said, he's a man larger than life. He walked over and said hello to me, and we had a conversation in the shop, not knowing that after a week out here, he's calling to go to be with his Creator. Mr. Speaker, the leader who lived the fullness of life. We had in these chambers a few months ago when he stood up to speak for the interest of the people of Bougainville. And he spoke from his heart. He told us that during the crisis, he was in the midst of both parties. And he called for leaders of Bougainville for peace to prevail on the island. And this is the type of leader he is. He was Christ-centered, and he put his life down for his people. I think that is the type of life that leaders need to live. He was a humble, respectful, and a very decent man. Today, as we come to pay our respects, it is also a call to all leaders, both in this House and outside of this House, that you must, as leaders, look out immediate for the greater benefit of the people of Papua New Guinea. Today, again, we have lost a great leader. Belblumi Karai, Lord, this leader and sleep before us, because he wants to see the greater Bougainville become what they plan to have it to be. And today, I want to, on behalf of my people of Kiriwina Good Enough, the people of Milimbay province, the party, PNC party, our leader may be given an opportunity to speak. But on behalf of PNC family and the opposition, we say thank you. Thank you very much for your heart, for your service to the people of Papua New Guinea, to the service that you've given to the people of Bougainville and to your electorate. May God go with you in your journey, and God bless you once again. Thank you.
Honorable Governor Bloin Sidi na leader Blong Social Democratic Party.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me rise on behalf of our party, SDP, to join the Prime Minister, opposition leader, Yumi Olgedalo Parliament, to pay tribute and offer words of comfort and condolence to the relatives of our member, late Honorable Father Simon Dumarinu, who tragically lies here with us. in his final journey to go to his resting place. Our party, we are at shock and still at a loss as to the passing of a stalwart of our party. It's an untimely passing has caught all of us by surprise. And we are still coming to terms with the loss of a member of our party, a stalwart of our party, loyal member of our party. So on behalf of our parliamentary party and members of our party, we want to firstly offer our condolences to the immediate relatives in central Bougainville and to the people of central Bougainville, our people of Bougainville, and of course, all our people in the length and breadth of our country, Papua New Guinea, in which Father not just saved Bougainville, but equally our people in the length and breadth of our country, both in his time as a Catholic priest and equally as a member of parliament. Our late member who lies with us today, I can say he's an extraordinary leader in his own right. I can say too that he is truly a servant of God. I can say too on behalf of the party that he is also a servant of our people, especially his people of Bougainville in central Bougainville. During the height of the Bougainville crisis, as we all have learned, Father then Simon Dumaneru never deserted his vocation as a Catholic priest. He stood and remained with the people. He was a man of peace, reaching out to both all combatants, the resistance, BRA, and of course PNG Defense Force. He provides shelter and provides support to all the combatants, and most importantly, was a man of peace, trying to get everyone to start working towards peace. And because of that outstanding work, he's highly respected in Bougainville. In his political journey, Mr. Speaker, members of Parliament, and all our people, his good standing in Bougainville had shown on many occasions in which he ran for a number of seats in Bougainville. Firstly, in 2015, he contested the ABG presidential election. I think the record would show that he did very well. And then in 2017, he contested under our party for the first time in central Bougainville. He was successful. He won by 4 votes from his predecessor then, and sadly passed away to late Akotai, Sem Akotai. But his time in Parliament was short, Mr. Speaker. There was a recount of the election then in 2017, and he lost by 8 votes. And Father committed to his commitment to the people, to saving both God and the people, did not rest. He contested again 2 elections. Again, ABG presidential election and the regional Bougainville seat. True enough, showing his highly respected status in Bougainville, he came second on both counts. But when you talk to our late father, he would say that he probably won, but something come up. That's always a narrative we all contested, we offer when we do not do so well. But nevertheless, his standing is a testament to his work, his passion and commitment to serving God and serving the people of Bougainville and serving our country, Papua New Guinea. He never wavered. Tragically, his time in Parliament, as I have recalled in 2017, was short-lived, and sadly today too, it's short-lived. 2 years into his term as a member for Central Bougainville, he has tragically passed away. We have lost a great leader. Bougainville has lost a great leader. A leader who was committed to peace, committed to the future of Bougainville. A leader who was highly respected. He was committed to his way. In the recent past, I believe for the first time, somebody, a leader from Bougainville, is able to launch a 5-year development plan. And his passing was no coincidence. It was during the course of a festival in Bougainville and walking up to his village, which was arduous work. He did not care too much about his health. He pushed himself. That is the show the commitment and passion of late Honorable Father Simon Dumarin. We have lost a great man, a great leader, an outstanding leader. Mr. Speaker, he never wavered until his passing, his commitment to Bougainville. Now as he has left us, reflecting back on all his words and dedication, he believed in Bougainville, he believed in PNG. And as he passed and leaves us today, let us reflect on his work. And one thing I want to remind all of us is that he still believed and was still committed to the result of the referendum, that we can still have an independent Bougainville, but it will still be good for PNG. And it will still be extraordinary outcome that we will show to the world. And this is what I want to leave to all of us. As a reminder of his legacy and his great work, especially dedicating his life to serving God, serving our people, being a major contributor to the peace process in Bougainville and the subsequent process towards the referendum and defining the future of Bougainville. He wants us to put the issue of Bougainville on the agenda and not for us to be afraid of it. His words was this: if Bougainville become independent, mi plabay no nabgolo sambla, mi plabay stapya, you mi family, and he believe. And as party leader, I believe that we can make an extraordinary, unique outcome that will define the world, will be exceptional to us. And it will prove that once again, like the peace agreement, we will have an exceptional outcome that we will be proud of. And that is what late Father Honorable Simon Dumarin was committed to. He has served these people well. He had a fulfilling life, Mr. Speaker. Of course, we can say it was an untimely passing, but it is within the space that God has given us that you must utilize your life to the fullest. So we can be sad, but we must celebrate his life too, Mr. Speaker and honorable members of Parliament, that this man, a leader in his own right, a servant of God, servant of the people, he utilized and used the privilege of life to the maximum. And we can be proud of him. And I believe God will put him in his right hand, up there in heaven. Once again, thank you, Mr. Speaker and Prime Minister, Opposition Leader, members of Parliament, for joining us to pay tribute and offer condolences and sympathy to the people of Central Bougainville and Bougainville. Thank you.
Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
like to stand here to share and offer my condolences also on the honourable floor. Mr. Speaker, we gather here today with heavy hearts to pay tribute to a humble leader and a man of faith and a dedicated servant of the people, Father Simon Domerino, the late member for Central Bougainville. His passing leaves a space, a gap that will be deeply felt, not just by his family, but the people of Central Bougainville and our entire nation. Father Simon was a great man who not only understood his people, but shared with them their struggles and triumphs, and was instrumental in his devotion to serving the people and spreading the word of God during the Bougainville crisis. Mr. Speaker, Father Simon was more than just a politician. He was a man driven by a deep sense of duty to his people and a commitment to peace and development. His leadership was anchored in his unwavering belief in the power of community and dialogue. Father Simon was first elected in the 10th Parliament in 2017 and re-elected to the 11th Parliament in 2022. It shows his strong connections to his people. As a man of the faith, a man of the cloth, he brought a unique perspective to his role as a Member of Parliament, always striving to serve with integrity, humility and compassion. Mr. Speaker, during his time in Parliament, Father Simon worked tirelessly to advance the interests of Central Bougainville and the greater Bougainville itself. He was a strong advocate for the rights of his people, always ensuring that their voices were heard in the halls of power. 2 months ago, the late Father Simon and His Excellency President Ismail Toroma welcomed our Prime Minister, the Honourable James Morobean, to the launching of the Central Bougainville 5-year development plan, which was a key initiative by Father Simon to pave the way forward through empowering service delivery in Central Bougainville. This was only 2 months ago. Mr. Speaker, Father Simon understood the complexities and the challenges faced by Bougainville and was deeply committed to the cause of peace and reconciliation. His efforts in promoting sustainable development and improving the livelihoods of his constituents will be remembered as a significant part of his legacy. He was instrumental in championing infrastructure development in Central Bougainville, recognizing that progress in education, health, and economic opportunities was vital for the future of his people. His advocacy for improved healthcare services, better educational facilities, and economic empowerment initiatives has left an indelible mark on his region. Mr. Speaker, as we remember Father Simon today, we also honour his unwavering dedication to the Bougainville Peace Agreement. His work in fostering unity and collaboration amongst different communities in Bougainville was exemplary. He shared a lot of stories in that aspect. He believed that true peace could only be achieved through understanding, patience, and a shared commitment to the future. This was highlighted in his speech during the last sitting of Parliament, which was debated on ratification, where he spoke strongly for the future of Bougainville. Father Simon's legacy is one of hope, resilience, and a deep love for his people. He taught us that leadership is not only about power or prestige, but about service and sacrifice. His life was a testament to the values of humility, compassion, and a relentless pursuit of justice for all. Mr. Speaker, on behalf of myself, the Prime Minister, and our government, I want to assure the people of Bougainville that he has left an indelible mark on the Bougainville peace process. This will be continued by our government. On behalf of my family, the people of Lae, and Bougainvillians in Lae, I extend our deepest condolences to Father Simon's family, the SDB party, and his people. We share in your grief and pray that you will find strength in the love and memories you shared with him. His legacy will continue to inspire us all as we work towards a better and more peaceful Bougainville. May Father Simon, member for Central Bougainville, rest in eternal peace, knowing that his life's work has made a lasting impact on his beloved Central Bougainville, and our nation. We will probably be smiling from heaven when we achieve that lasting peace. The Lord gives and the Lord takes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable Member Blokandep.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I, on behalf of the people of Kandep, join other mourners on the floor of Parliament as well as in Central Bougainville and PNG in the passing of the Honourable Father Simon Dumarino. Mr. Speaker, I have on this floor of Parliament and other occasions expressed condolences to times of bereavements to other deaths. But those deaths have had a wife or a husband or a son or a daughter or some children. But this is one of those few occasions on which I am honored to stand to reflect and to celebrate the passing on of a honorable man, a clergy in the service of God that did not have a wife, a child, or no relative of his own to carry on his genealogy. He is a man I'm truly honored to pay tribute to and to celebrate his life, a man who disattached himself emotionally from any other human that would have come out of his own blood. But a man who chose to have a family that was not one of his genes, but one that made humanity become one family that we should all see as equal in the eyes of one another. And that gives me the honor to see this honorable leader, the Honorable Father Simon Dumarino, in celebrating his life when he was living as a person who was a father, who was a brother, who was a relative of all the people of Papua New Guinea. And that's a wonderful thing, Mr. Speaker. Most of the times we attach ourselves to emotional attachments that we find that is my son, that is my wife, that is my daughter, or that is my tribesman, that is my clansman, that is from my region, my province, etc. But here lies before us a man who did not see it that way. He chose when he was a young man, he had all his opportunities to become a man of emotional attachments to personalities and friends and relatives, but he chose not to do that. I learned from him, like I learned from many others, that he chose to make the whole human race, the people of Central Bougainville, the people of Bougainville, people of Papua New Guinea, the people of the world, his family. And I think that's a wonderful thing that we should celebrate. And I celebrate with happiness, although the body goes down to the grave, but the spirit that chooses to live this kind of life that sees no difference in anybody, that lives on forever, is the life or the attribute that he lived that I celebrate, Mr. Speaker. Also, let me say, his service to human beings in this country, in Central Bougainville, the autonomous region, is unparalleled to the service that many of us would have served in our lives. Because we sit in our private areas, as a professional, as a business person, as a leader in some amulets of life in society, but here is someone who served human beings ever since he was a young man. In the public space, in the Catholic Church, as well as in the public Christian arena, he's been serving. So even to come in as a member of Parliament, represent the people of Central Bougainville on this floor of Parliament was no new task for him. He had been serving. He had been serving at all echelons of human social structure up to the time he came to the floor of Parliament. And he served. Like myself, I would have served in the private sector in my own little cocoon in my own professional life before I became a public figure. But here he lies a man before us who has been serving in the public space and still is serving in the public space, and he dies serving in the service that he has been providing. And I salute and I celebrate that kind of unselfish life that the late Honorable Father Simon Dumarino gave unwavering to the people of Central Bougainville and to Papua New Guinea. And I think the best thing when somebody passes on, like I always think, is that while we mourn and we express emotionally the loss that we experienced, the best thing is to emulate the good lives, the good spirit that these wonderful people have left for us, to carry those good things in us so that we live on those goodness forever. Let me also express this: what a time for the late father to pass on. What a time. He's a clergyman from the Catholic Church. The Holy See will be here soon in this country. Is in this country, and here I see it as a divine death because he's dying. We say he's dead, but in fact he's dying as a priest, as a member of parliament, as a public figure, and as a leader. He's done a wonderful thing when the head of the Catholic Church arrives in this wonderful country of us, and I think it's a divine death, and we can celebrate also when the Holy See comes into Papua New Guinea, all churches of all kinds. We should celebrate the coming of the Pope into our country because here we honor a man who was ordained by the Pope to be a priest, and he lies before us, Mr. Speaker. And I think it's a divine kind of a thing I see even in his death. Finally, may I say, Mr. Speaker, his work on Bougainville was not one of a polarized approach. I was listening attentively to the debate that he was participating when we discussed the last Parliament about the future of the autonomous region of Bougainville. And he shared his experiences and what he had been doing there as a priest, and even talked about some very, very difficult situations. I remember one of those experiences he shared. He said they were trying to behead some Papua New Guinea soldiers, but he intervened and he stopped that beheading from happening because he said that's not the right thing to do, not only as a priest but also as a leader. So he is a man who did not just think about his own kind of people in his own island, but he is somebody who also thought of Papua New Guinea at large, was also thinking about the Bougainvilleans. He came between the two factions to say, look, let's pacify the situation, let's have some peace there, and let's not create more disharmony and more destruction to life and property. So the work that he did there on the Bougainville and the process that is now expressed by various other speakers and that's ongoing, I believe that in honor of him will bring the Bougainville issue to a good rest, where I agree with the Deputy Prime Minister and the leader of the Social Democratic Party and the Prime Minister and the opposition leader that we should have that peace that should be there. We are peaced already, but we should make it formally, technically, the process that the honourable leader was passed on, plus the others who have started, and these others who have passed on before him, like the Grandship St. Michael Thomas Sumare, St. Megre Morata, and the others who have contributed to this process. We should honour them all by bringing to this issue an amicable solution where everyone is happy and there's a win-win for all of us. Let me conclude, Mr. Speaker, that he's a young man. He's a young man, and I know him. He's not one that could pass on like this. He's very young, like all of us. All of us are young. 50 years, 60 years. He's not old. I have a bit of white hair up here, Mr. Speaker, and I see a bit of white below your chin. I can see that. And there's white presence here and there. That does not mean we're old. We're still young. And if you look at the spectrum of deaths across the country now, in private, in public life, in business, as well as in family lives, young people are losing lives. Young Papua New Guineans are dying. Young. When we talk about the future of Papua New Guinea, the future of Papua New Guinea is today. It's not tomorrow. The future of Papua New Guinea is how we live today. And I know that the honorable later priest, he passed on from heart. I know he went to Port Moresby General Hospital and did this tent twice. And I know that tent then got blocked somewhere. So, Mr. Speaker, it rests on all of us to look at the way of life we're living in the modern society today. Papua New Guinea is very, very young, and now people dying very, very young. It is a challenge because then those younger ones we are producing, they'll have to emulate the ones at that level, 50s and 60s and 70s, to carry on the country into the future. And that is a challenge that I think the Parliament and all of us in that business of health should look at, that we can learn from as to what are the healthful ways of living. I think that's what we should pursue more than those that stress us too much in our lives and we find hearts collapsing one by one. Let's aim to live more than the lifespan that we're living today. But with this, I'll conclude with this, in this time of bereavement experienced by the people of Central Bougainville, Bougainville at large, the people of Papua New Guinea, the Catholic domain, the Social Democratic Party, and all of us, may I celebrate, share the celebration of the passing of the late leader, that we learn from the good things that he lived. Let's make him live forever in us by living the good lives he did. May his soul rest in peace. And it reminds me of this text that says that for me to live is Christ, but to die is gain. So dying, actually, we are gaining it because the life we live lives on forever in the living that we live today. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
The Honourable Minister for Bougainville Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of my people of Margarima and my office in the capacity of Bougainville Affairs Minister, I want to take this opportunity to join our fellow leaders in paying a special tribute to this great Bougainvillean and a Papua New Guinean leader who lay in state before us. Many good words have been spoken about his good deeds, words, character, and his way of life, to which his singular, remarkable contribution to our great country is his unspoken, selfless, and heroic act of peacemaking and the unification of our people during the height of the Bougainville crisis. As a clergyman or a man of God, which led to the signing of the Bougainville Peace Agreement in 2001, which effectively ended the decade-long armed conflict and ushered in 20 years of peace that we all enjoy now. I want to place a special recognition to his contribution in my line of work as a political leader after he entered politics. Mr. Speaker, apart from faithfully serving his beloved district of Central Bougainville, the late Honorable Dumarino continued to serve our great country as a former National Minister for Bougainville Affairs back in 2017 and made a significant contribution in ensuring that the Bougainville Peace Agreement and the National Constitution were adhered to by the Papua New Guinea government and the autonomous Bougainville government by prevailing the Bougainville referendum to be held in the year 2019, which indeed took place then. Mr. Speaker, after the Bougainville referendum was had, I must say that debates in this floor in the National Parliament on the issue were relatively quiet,
and somewhat mediocre. Due to the sensitive nature of the referendum result being returning more than 97% in favor of independence. I must give credit to and recognize late Honorable Dumarunu's relentless questions without notice during question times on this very floor here, which sparked serious debates in this House and the public space about the issue of Bougainville's political future, recently that we have seen unlike before. Mr. Speaker, Honorable Dumarunu was a unique leader. As the most meekest, humblest, gentle, soft-spoken, and peaceful leader as he was, his love and commitment to serve his people of central Bougainville and to pursue the greater interest of Bougainville's future was uncompromising and unwavering, as I would gather from his conversations with me and often during debates here in this floor. Mr. Speaker, late Dumarunu was a peace-loving and a wise leader who had a great sense of duty to the mandate he had from his people of Bougainville, and also the National Constitution and the Bougainville Peace Agreement in approaching the common issue that we have at hand. Mr. Speaker, he believed that the Bougainville's future would be settled in peace, as he was a man of peace. Mr. Speaker, what we could learn from this great leader is that we as leaders should learn from such a good man as we are to confront the issue, to address the issue that we face at hand going forward. Mr. Speaker, I want to sincerely convey my condolences to the family of late Honorable Dumarunu and his good people of Central Bougainville, as well as his party, the Social Democratic Party. My brother, rest in eternal peace. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister for State and Pride.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It is with a very heavy heart that I rise to, on behalf of the people I lead from Magen and the party that I lead, the United Resource Party, to join others in extending our deepest condolences to the family of the late leader, Honorable Simon Dumarunu, the people of Central Bougainville, and the people of Bougainville at large, and of course, the leader and the members of the party which he was a member of. Mr. Speaker, the late leader was a unique man. I first met him when he actually defeated a member who once used to belong to the party that I lead, the late Sam Akotai. When I first met him, I congratulated him and I asked him, so you're the man who removed my brother? And he gave me that very cheeky smile. And I could see that he was a genuine man. I did not know much about him, Mr. Speaker, but when we served together in Parliament, I began to realize that he was a genuine leader who had a heart for his people. I also later found out that while his predecessor, the late Sam Akotai, was the leader of the resistance, he also played a significant role in the resolution of this long outstanding dispute among our people of Bougainville. Mr. Speaker, the late leader, I later also found out was a son of a pastor, and that he came through very tough times during the crisis, when he was also on the receiving end of some cruel treatment from the resistance as well. So he was a man, Mr. Speaker, who really wanted to serve the people, and eventually he became the Minister for Bougainville Affairs for about 12 months. And when we served together in cabinet, I could see that he was also really a man who was under a lot of pressure. He was in a position where he could see the very competing views of this very complex issue that we have on our island of Bougainville. And yet he was the minister responsible for Bougainville affairs. But he really tried his best, and he had a genuine heart, Mr. Speaker. It is very sad to see that people who come here to serve the people with a genuine heart go early like this. When I heard about this passing, I was asking myself, why does God ever allow or take back people like that at such an age when they are still trying to continue to contribute to the lives of the people? But as you all know, Mr. Speaker, you can never question God of his timing. So he is someone who entered Parliament. He went to a number of court cases, and he was a determined man, but unfortunately he's left us. During our time together in this Parliament, Mr. Speaker, I had the occasion to even crack jokes with him, and I at one stage asked him, maybe you should delete the names Rinu, and you should call your surname to be Duma, so we can be brothers. A light-skinned brother and a black-skinned brother. He would always smile, and he told me, maybe you should add the RINU to your surname. And we had those. And even when you were in camp at Lolwata, I also jokingly asked him, you should ask all of us to confess to you. So again, he smiled. And I could see that he was a very, very genuine leader who meant well for his people. And it is unfortunate that he's left us. All I can say is I want to thank God for giving this unique person, a man who served these people firstly as a father, and then secondly as a political leader, a unique man. He's left us. All I can say is that we should all remember him for what he was for and work together so that we also do our bit to create lasting peace. It is the least we can do in this Parliament, and also remember him for the work that he did. So on behalf of my people, I also want to again repeat my condolences, and Brother Simon, I want to wish you all the best and rest in peace. Thank you.
The Honourable Governor for Southern Highlands.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me too, joining all colleagues for me, the Parliament, like pass him condolence to you, Speaker, as the Speaker of the House and one of your members have fallen. To the President of the Autonomous Government of Bougainville, the people of Bougainville, the Regional Member for Bougainville, Honorable Junior Samaleli, one-time triple members of Parliament who said he stopped here, all family belong, late father, Mimakin people belong Southern Highlands, where Faplo electorate, Yelu Pangia, Kabguarabe, Imbongu, Mendimunhiu, na Nipa Kudubu, whose members are also present here, Namilek, passing Bikla. Talk sorry long this time where father, he lose Mipla, late father. Father, he come look Savaloem. Time STB through long honorable post back up now members play upla. Na Milek talk people thank you long deputy leader of STD, my local member, the honorable member for Nipa Kurubu, Dr. Billy Joseph. Look, Kissimem come long Southern Highlands, na long Nipa Kurubu. Lo witness in this district development plan play you. And there was a great opportunity to sit down with him. Kai na look savalong. Some people call it this life and beliefs, and where you mean all members of Parliament, we take our presence for granted, but we need to take some time to see special qualities in us. God them give me long end. Time member belong we work sindan here na late father all tight him. Travel mama blo puk crocodile. Na kamlo ni bakudubu mi blo gra pored na we ran for our lives too. Na father was in there, the late father, and it was a creation of awesome experience. Amlo Highlands, we don't say looking puk. Thank you, Member Blong. We work using here one time. Governor Blong, NCD, na leader Blong STD, other members of STD who are here. I pass my sincere condolence on behalf of the people. You brought for the first time with Father crocodile, life one long nipa kurubu na Southern Highlands. It may sound small, but this was something big. Lo plus lo miplo we miplo na sawe lookim longen miplo harem, but ino sawe lookim longen. So thank you, long all leaders from STD, you come, and I had the opportunity to sit and eat with the late father. We all come from the same church, so I told him, why did you leave the priesthood? Many are called, but few are chosen, I said, and you are one of them who have been chosen. In us, we are taught about the completeness of life, from birth to the different callings, and you achieve those purposes in life, and then of course we will face death one day and we'll give an account. That's completeness of life. So me sit down close to him, and me no using fork too, and using hand na keke, and I'm talk. Brother, you shall finish. Simplicity. Done in you yet. Humility. Easygoing. Service to people. Meekness. These are qualities of great leaders who have a destiny of service. In me, a man dedicated in his private life to the service of God, not only God, but his life, and then to Parliament. What do you think drives this kind of person? The destiny. I find in him a great man, a giant. A giant is not something who can grandstand and chest beat, but believe in a cause. So, Emperor Gola Heaven, me, one bell, thank you, long, Member Blomi long. Niba Kurubu, you carry him come now. Crocodile 2 one time, now all people Blomi look him, they will remember him. But so as we know, Sanab na talk condolence on behalf of my people, and by name of look good la me pass him. Talk sorry people of Southern Highlands long autonomous government, president, regional member, na you bla speaker too, na you mean yet a giant man will fulfill his destiny for the completeness of life. Thank you.
Member of Prince Happen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Me like join him all members, colleagues, Mr. Flo, Lo Salim Belsore, and Big Belsore Blo. Firstly, on behalf of people belong Finchafen, Kolong people belong Central Bougainville. We said Lucim leader belong all, well, mark him come long Flo, mark him all, long fight long all, talk long all, and represent him all is La Flo. Number 2, on behalf of family belong yet. Me like Salim Belsorogolo family blow, late leader where Lucimem. You may go to Sino, you may come up leader, position in your limbat. Time you may go back long house, you may belong long the tribe, family, a part of a society. And that society is a vacuum now, na mila tok sore. Lo family belong em, no line belong em, no place, clan belong em, where em come out from. Mr. Speaker, time here and plant your leader where sharing plant a good plus story will serve along this leader. One word that sticks out along look blomin and me look him and me was a peacemaker. Plant your good plus story will come. A man of we're making big plus sacrifice through. Awesome planty governor story after leaders los Laos who will attribute long characteristic long em. Time you look him life long em dedicate him all life playing bolo service long God and people. A very rare thing that someone can do to forego the things of life and the beautiful things that we find in this life. So my name give him all life playing long service to God and to country and to himself. And time him comes to me like just pay him respect long em. Miss Salim Sore blomi plol team blomi plolong our party golong leader blong STP lo ipla lusi member to isi pla task long party lo Senapim leader na kari member kamlo parliament. So mila toksore ng party leader, deputy party leader. All members too belong SDP and the support team behind long party too. Na inside long mipla tu ikato members we stop. Member belong mipla at inside long not Bougainville. Na rapla strong plan Mary we stop long mipla one time long. Opposition mila toksore. On behalf of mipla leaders we stop long opposition. You missing one colleague. Leader belong government business. Minister belong police. Regional leader. Mi toksore long you want them communication minister. We losing one colleague. We're coming out from Bougainville, a very trying and challenging place to be a leader. We talk sorry through us, we losing a voice, a colleague and a friend on the floor. Now God can give Belisilo Yumi or leaders we stop. Family blame will come witness him today. God can give him Belisilo Yupla. Sometimes words we stop long floor cannot fully express the vacuum that I'm losing Yupla on behalf of family. Na miet mi doksora lang ipla na thank you log yung good leader we mi plug and line him mi pla share him some moment on the floor share him some moment lo walk one time long time lo push him interest lo Bougainville interest long central Bougainville district where come up member now values where karim come lo this la walk with some leader one time this la mi open prayer some gori can give him bellisi na time him go back or can put him body go good. Thank you Mr. Speaker lo savelo mi.
Honourable Member Abau.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I associate myself with all the speeches that have been made on behalf of them and their families and their electorates. I also stand up on behalf of the people of Abau and my family to offer my sincerest condolence to the family of the leader that is in the chamber today. Honorable Speaker, I hope that the leaders today realize the enormity of the impact of the Bougainville crisis. That the impact of the Bougainville crisis on every citizen on the island. And for the leadership that is of the late Father Simon's age, who were caught up in the crisis and were able to maneuver the crisis until they all came out, Honorable Speaker, I hope that this Honorable Parliament will acknowledge the gravity of the crisis that our brothers and sisters came through from Bougainville. And one of them is lying before us, Honorable Speaker. Many acknowledgements has been given, but I want to acknowledge two platforms that I believe that created the leader that the Honorable late Father Simon was. And that is the value of family. We had at the funeral service today at the St. Joseph Catholic Church, led by, and I must say that was a lovely funeral service. I'm not from the Catholic Church, but I really enjoyed that funeral service. I think everybody who participated were uplifted through the preaching of the Word of God and just the serenity of the occasion. Not many people attended, but it was beautiful. What I gathered from this leader, and I've had encounters with him during the 10th Parliament and in the 11th Parliament, and after 2017, Honourable Peter O'Neill appointed him as Bougainville, Minister for Bougainville Affairs. And out of his family, two of them became priests. And so in any nation building, we have to focus on family. Because family is the building unit of strong nations. And this family definitely contributed enormously to the country. First, he was a true Papua New Guinean. True Papua New Guinean, because the stories that he himself told us and the others told us that during the crisis, he was fair to every child. So he was a true Papua New Guinean. Then the issues of Bougainville came, and his last statement on the floor of Parliament, how he expressed his passion for everything to begin and end through peaceful means. And I want to thank the people who bought that wreath sitting on his casket. It's peace wreath. Thank you very much for that choice of that wreath. Because Tasolia, peace, yeah, he was amongst the many Bougainvillians who did everything, including, and I want to acknowledge the women of Bougainville, who led the need to stop fighting and sit down and talk. And then the peace agreement was signed in 2001. So I thank the family of the late Father Simon. I want to thank God for his parents who contributed to the country by producing two of their sons to the work of the church. And if we focus on developing families around the country, I think we can follow. We can create such leaders. Some families, they don't handle their children, and so they don't contribute positively to society. And so I thank God for the family of this leader and his other sibling who also served God. The second issue I want to say, and I want to say thank you to the Catholic Church. I think Catholic Church is now the largest Christian church in our country. I want to thank the Catholic Church for bringing this leader up. In the eulogy that was read by one of his family members, the late leader underwent many training programs. He's very well educated through the Catholic Church. And I know many other people have benefited through the Catholic Church and are also contributing to nation building today through its many services, health and education, women development, children development. And when I heard the eulogy, I said, thank you, Lord, for the Catholic Church. So I want to acknowledge the contribution of the Catholic Church in this country, and specifically for today, to this leader that lies before us. Thank you, Lord, for the Catholic Church. Two things, and I will sit down, Honorable Speaker. In one of my statements on the floor of Parliament, I did say that the nation has forgotten those who went through this enormous crisis, and we have not had a structure to help them resettle back to the societies and the communities, including the ex-combatants and also our own soldiers who went there. But they've been managing themselves. They've been managing themselves to go back to the society and keep contributing. I take my hat off to all the Bougainville leaders who have come out of that crisis, settling themselves and their families. And some of them are leaders. And so, Honorable Speaker, what was his last wish on the floor of the Parliament? His wish was to listen to their cry, the result of the referendum, 97.7%. That was his last wish, supported by all the leaders of Bougainville on the floor of this Honorable House. I don't think it's too difficult, Honorable Speaker. We can manage the process quicker and faster than we have been. Thank you, Father, for this leader. Thank you, the family of this leader. Thank you, the Catholic Church, for your contribution. May your soul rest in God's eternal peace. Thank you.
The honourable member for North Bougainville.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Honourable House. Me, sanap makim all people of North Bougainville. Me sanap makim all Mary belong North Bougainville. Now all Mama belong Papua New Guinea too. Long this time me play Karim, Pater, Member of Parliament, Chief, na Papa belong me play come inside. Long Parliament, long Papua New Guinea. Me Mama me Makim, regional member, who's also in the House this afternoon. Me Makim to Minister of Communication, who I don't see on the floor of the Parliament this afternoon. But me plus three paltas start now, only three of us are here. And I didn't realize that the last Parliament sitting, Honourable House, people of Papua New Guinea and people of Bougainville, that would be the last time. That would be the last time that I would hug him and say, thank you, Papa. He invited me for the launch of a 5-year program, Blongam. And just today, I went back through the messages inside the phone. Na mi looking all the messages Blongam na mi I were through. In a very short space of time, Honourable House, Honourable Speaker, Papua New Guinea and Bougainville, in a very short space of time, he come inside the Parliament. There was one person I would actually duck into. Na mi call him pass Longam. There was one person that me plus him down inside the gallery. Me look him rice spoon on top of jacket blong him, I would clean it up. Me look him collar, blood jacket blong him no sit down good, I will do it for him. And pass in Bougainville. And pass in blow him, pass in blow mama. I didn't even realize Papua New Guinea and Bougainville. That time he play mark him, Patriotism Day as a public holiday in Bougainville, that this humble, this quiet person, someone I learned from in 6 months, a childlike person, way long, me bela really talk, you easy lick. As I speak, I've got Dominic sitting up there. We used to be in the Parliament together, the first house. I never realized that I'm country belong. Parliament, me sitting down. The regional member ringing me at 5 o'clock that Friday morning. Lo talking me, Mama, call me as soon as you pick up this message. Time me looking at about 8 o'clock the next morning, I knew it was not good news. Me ringing regional member and I'm talk. Papa put down penis. Now me talk. That was the first message I got on Facebook, even before me reading message to you. As we celebrate 23 years long peace agreement inside Long Bougainville, member for Central Bougainville lies inside the funeral home. As Bougainville celebrates Patriotism Day, 1st of September, member belong Central Father de Marinu and sleep the funeral home. Me sindan lo backside block karta mi plakam lo here after church. Na mi count him lo finger blow me Honourable House, Papua New Guinea and Bougainville. When I grew up as a child, in Osaka, this la passing belong Parliament, member of Parliament to die every second year inside Long Bougainville. I've never, from the likes of Le Donatus Mola, Ikam, Inoga. Me asking me yet, what's happening? 2020, we lost Akoitai. 2022, we lost Nakin. 2024, Yimi Sanap, I blame you me. One problem me again. Now me talk, Lord, what is this? It never used to happen before. Why am I come up? I shared with my two boys in the vehicle, tami pla kamlo here na mi talk. Something me look him inside long here now. Governor of Southern Highlands talk long him. I'm starting to see a trend. Passing blow leader put down every 2 years. Lo BPA day long last week Friday. Me talk lo North Bougainville na me talk. We fail to appreciate people that we put on the floor of the parliament, either in Bougainville or Papua New Guinea. You may like him the so long, you may throw a stone, without even appreciating me plol trangu go sana makim you. Sleepless nights, me plus our walk, kai me pronounce our sleep good. It's time that we start appreciating all members you may put them go inside long parliament, whether in parliament lo Papua New Guinea or parliament lo Bougainville. Me talk lo people when we lo not Bougainville, me talk please, we need to start to appreciate the people we vote onto the floor of the parliament. Me talk also because people long north, time you may mark him 23 years, people of Papua New Guinea want them Bougainville talk enough is enough. All mama walk about the whole mountain, all pull him all picking long only come back. All pull him all papa long only come back now talk enough. We need peace, and let it be peace by peaceful means. Father, me talk thank you lo marriage society that papa ibn go come up pater long a society that doesn't really sit in one place, a society that moves around long go bring him good news to people in the islands. Only start past time long Fiji come around him all the island, round him he come long Solomon Islands, round him he come long Vanuatu, round him he come long Bougainville. A society that had been come up long Bougainville, long time, good news, for Catholic Church, come inside long Bougainville, me salute marriage society. As one blood long all, father, honorable, na papa, na cheap, me plus sleep inside long casket, tete long avenue. Sana blow me long Bougainville. It is just not a political challenge or challenge from me play like him service he go inside long Bougainville, Papua New Guinea. Me play face him challenge, long bring him at least the basic services. He go inside long Bougainville. The biggest challenge Papua New Guinea, or Brata Blomi Lohia, 2+Usa Blomi Lohia, the biggest challenge that we face is a spiritual warfare. Two groups of people come find me lo house blamilo bukata me set him up big house cry for 3 days. With a thank you, regional member, thank you, support blow you. With a thank you, long minister blow communication, thank you, support blow you, lick house cry me walk him. Challenge me play look him, na me play feel him. It's just not challenge blow, deliver him services. I want your understanding. Me like him understanding blow you. The challenge we also face. And challenge lo me plus sit down in good life blow people. Me plus sit down in good all beginning blow me plus that were born during the war. One em you blow brata blow me peel him blow here. I always, and I've never said it before, but I'll say it today. You challenge you face him. I mean, no enough him challenge me when them RM. Na Timothy Masu me pla triple face him this time. Time me look him, Papa blo me pla silip lo here, honorable member blo me silip lo here. It gives me a reason again. And me give him me pla reason to say, we want your understanding. We want your love. The people of Bougainville ask him, long good pla passing blo you. Peace, by peaceful means. Is that what me play look like him long? Understanding blow you, me play like him long. Suppose me play no talk loyal by talk na make him one. Father Simon, Honorable Simon, was one person that me talk loyal by up him talk blow me. Sample time member talk, Susa, me go talk na bien by you up him talk blow me. Na me talk yes Father I will do. Time mempundan me talk puah poroman blow me go now. Tu bla brata blomi or stop inside lo NEC. Mituplay sabe, tilim tok tok lo here. I have the most respect, the most highest respect for this gentle person. In 6 months that Mr. Abau here as a national parliamentarian, he was one person I would run to. We didn't talk much, but at least we watched us a lot of times. I would say, Father, I need your spiritual uplifting. Father, I need you lokomitim yumi olkataiko. Yumi sakrai na yumi talk. Am go na, me no got now. But what I see today in this parliament is a blessing for this nation, is a blessing for Bougainville, is a blessing blomipral mama, is a blessing blomipral pikini. Mr. Speaker, the de la binun me, makim mi wan de ol pikini blomi, mi makim ol mama blo Papua New Guinea, mi makim ol mama blo North Bougainville, mi makim ol mama blo Bougainville. Someone that we would run to as a priest, someone that we would run to time papa sing out lomipla, someone that we would run to as youth, because a priest like him and misanap long somebody we would run to as women, that we would run to as youth, that we would run to as those that were not loved. Honorable late Simon de Marino, we will miss you. Thank you, Lo Wokim Lo Bougainville. Thank you, Lo family, Blo you sit down. Antap Lo here. Thank you, Lo Susab Longem. Start back Lo place, they all wouldn't come here. The Honorable Powers Spark up. Thank you. Look out him, Father de Marino, member, Blomipla. Me to thank you, the regional member. One time, Minister of Defense. Thank you, you honor him. Arem kirap na to mama, bam plakisim body begi kam na, mi plakisim kam. On that Sunday morning when I got a call from the regional member, to mama, mi plakisim coffin na chata tu kam. I got down on my knees and I said, Lord, thank you, thank you, thank you, that at least Father Olbakarim go back, Lombalus, not in a body bag, but in a beautiful coffin. To the Prime Minister of Papua New Guinea, Honorable James Marape, Nigantona, Tambara, thank you, you salim balusikam, lo pikim one pla pater, blomipla, Nakarim. Here. To this nation, this beautiful nation of Papua New Guinea, thank you for continually supporting Bougainville Lo Wakapat Blongem. Where Bami go again? Bami go again. And you Papablo nation, yeah. Wakapat Blomipla Mipla Wakapat Blongem. I will need you to stand by me. I can afford to see one dying every 2 years because of the stress that we are being put into. You Papablo me, you be look out in me until I'm able. Mina blo karim mat blo mi na karim suspend blo mi na mi golo one pla. E mi blo you yet, yeah? There is something that I want to do. There could be something positive that Bougainville wants to show. There could be something. To this parliament, me to thank you. Lo you allow him. Papa blo mi pla lo kam stop lo here. We could not have the late Sema Koitai inside Lohia. We could not have the late William Nakin inside Lohia. But thank you, Minister of Communication, Minister of Police. We three collectively worked on that morning and said, we would like to keep the late Honorable inside the funeral home until the 3rd of September, 3 weeks and by stop. But we would like to accord him the respect that he deserves as a priest and as a member of parliament, as a Papua New Guinean, as a Bougainvillean. Thank you, lo government, the holy pass, na look out in Papa Blomipla inside the funeral home until today, you make him come inside. Family, lo pater, tampara, thank you, lo you bear one time mipla, long bell, that you hold him pass, na mipla kama accord him the respect that he deserves to be accorded. To the people of Papua New Guinea, thank you, Tomas, lo bell blow you. To the Prime Minister, thank you. Long good plalewa blow you. To the leader of the opposition, thank you for your understanding in love. May your soul rest in peace.
Honorable Governor Blanc. Morobean.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, to grant me leave to speak on behalf of Comrade, who is resting motionless before this Parliament. Mr. Speaker, if I don't speak today, the Morobeans will take offense against me, Mr. Speaker, because the Morobeans are best of time friends of the Bougainville people. Doesn't matter what part of Bougainville they come from. Doesn't matter what occupation they involve in their life, Mr. Speaker, but we are best of time friends, forever friends of the Bougainville people. Mr. Speaker, the foreign comrades and the relatives of foreign comrades particularly, we want to send unreserved sorrow to them. We don't say it from our mouth, but we say it from our thoughts and mind to them, that we feel grossly sad that a man of good character has passed away, and God has called him, Mr. Speaker. Jesus said, life belongs to me, the dead belongs to me. Whether you're alive or dead, you still belong to me. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, I strongly believe that the man who lived in accordance with the word of the Lord, he shall be granted a place in a waiting place that the Lord has prepared for us as he promised. And Mr. Speaker, I am confident that the foreign comrade, member of the Central Bougainville, he is on his way to that signing city, and the city and the house full of glory. And I have a strong belief and faith that is the case as we speak today. Mr. Speaker, the foreign comrade is a man who believed in the Christian principles. If he didn't believe in the Christian principles, he did, and he would not have joined the ministry, God's ministry, in the God's church, the Catholic Church. He joined it because he believed in the gospel of Jesus Christ, and he joined it, Mr. Speaker. And he lived by it physically. With the short time that I have seen him in this Parliament, he is physically harmless person, law-abiding, living by the Christian principles. I saw him. He is a true Bougainvillean. All the Morobeans know generally how the Bougainvilleans behave, because we had interaction with them for too long. Many Bougainvilleans had married Morobean women, and many Morobean women, Morobean women married Bougainville men, because we trust each other. We completely trust each other. So he demonstrated to us today, the time that I knew him, he is a true Bougainvillean. Most Bougainvilleans, as we know them, they are not the boastful people. They obey the law, they obey the custom. We know. And he demonstrated that in the short times that I've come to know him in this parliament. He's a true Bougainvillean. He's a true Papua New Guinean, Mr. Speaker. He showed it. He believed in the independence of Papua New Guinea. The principles that we have said, unity, born one time, Abau. He demonstrated it. In the short times I come to know him, he demonstrated it without any constraint, without any reservation before this parliament. His role as a member of parliament. He showed it. He showed the Bougainvillean ways in this parliament. And he showed, Mr. Speaker, in his way, in a peaceful way, he showed it. In the government caucus that I saw him and I heard him, in the parliament that I saw him, in the forums that I saw him and heard him, he demonstrated he believed in those principles. And he, Mr. Speaker, he was elected by the people of the central Bougainville, not because he's a loud speaker, forceful speaker, or fought people physically to gain support. Not at all. He convinced the people of central Bougainville that he's completely harmless person, peace-loving, law-loving, Christian principle-loving, and Bougainville, passing Bougainville loving. And he showed it in his action. He demonstrated. And that is a very good human being, good gentleman. He's a man of exemplary. He believed in something, he will show it by action, not just show it by talking, but show it by action. We need so many people in this country like that. Unfortunately, we don't have it. With the greatest respect to the people of this country, we need those people like that. If we have it, this country will be moving fast and will be achieving dreams of the independence that we have asserted on the day of the 16th September 1975. Today, unfortunately, not many people are like that. And Mr. Speaker, I hope that Papua New Guineans will behave in a way that the foreign comrade, the member for Central Bougainville has shown. And Mr. Speaker, the foreign member, he's a representative of the aspiration of the Bougainville people. He represented, like Francis Somoso that I had there, Honorable the Francis Somoso, Honorable the Peter Siamalili Jr., Honorable the Timothy Maseu, before this parliament. Bougainville should consider them as their heroes, in this parliament. Because I had them the Minister for the Bougainville Affairs when I pressed before this parliament, Mr. Speaker, that he should bring the paper which was presented on the matters of Bougainville referendum. When I pressed it and when it was allowed to this parliament, I listened to those respective members of Bougainville, so I called their name. I listened to their debates, and they are truly the ambassador. They are truly the representative of the Bougainville aspirations before this parliament. They did it. They said all they could say. They want the independence of Bougainville in a peaceful way. Not a violent way. Initially they began, but eventually by 2001 Memorandum of Agreement on Peace Agreement, they want the independence of Bougainville by a peaceful way. And the member who has fallen, it should be considered by the Bougainville people that he's a true representative. He spoke the minds of the Bougainvilles. He spoke it. With all of the rest of the members, they spoke. And I was very happy that they spoke their mind. What they spoke is not their mind, but it's the Bougainville mind that they have spoken in this parliament. And I consider you, the late brother, a comrade, member of parliament, member for Central. You are a hero. You are a hero, and the Bougainville should consider you as a hero before this parliament. And Prime Minister, we can't afford to have Bougainvilleans who have been voted into this parliament to represent the Bougainville aspiration. They continue to die without achieving the Bougainville aspiration. We can't afford. We have to make a decision fast. I'll turn the issue of result of the referendum fast as we can. Not indecisive as we are, but fast as we can. We cannot afford to have this kind of thing happen. And Prime Minister, I call on your mercy. I call on your understanding that we have to deal with this issue of the result of the referendum, which is now before this Parliament for final determination under Section 342 of the Papua New Guinea Constitution. We have to deal with it. And I hope that these things will happen. But brother, all more bit sorry lo you true. Big plus sorry lo you. Na mi plo okla haram sorry lo plenty more member of Bougainville will die. O come lo Parliament, long achieving aspiration for Bougainville, now all will die. You may talk one him long Papa God. And you think scale him good. All got walk, no they come. All come talk sao lo you mean. Now you must make him walk. It's a walk. And silly belong, hand belong, government for this country, long this parliament then by talk. Mr. Speaker, Milusin Landry, Prime Minister long deal. But this brother, he's done his job. He's done his job. He shall be rest in peace. And we shall celebrate. Is what God told him to do, he done it up to this point in time. And we shall celebrate his contribution to Bougainville, to this parliament, and to the humanity in whole. He did it. And we should respect him. Na mi Morobean, mi brata turu belong all kawas, kar brata turu belong all Bougainville people. Sorry belum pla kamla you, ino kamla mouse. Taso sorry belum you, kamla you antem all family. Lo lewa belum mi pla. Big pla bless him you. Na mi pla believe, was in pastor mi talk. You are on your way to the shining city full of glory, because you have achieved what God decided for you to do for the people of Papua New Guinea. God bless.
The Honourable Member for Mbongu.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Me too, me like Makim, of people of Mbongu. Now, Department of me, Justice and Attorney General, and Judicial one time. Now, people like talk sorry along what people belong. Central Bougainville, now relative long. Honourable by dialogue. I plan your talk piece of 7 man. Peace you could see, you can read. Long face long and look long and one blow man. Papa go through sentiment in an untapped case. That's all through repented person. So it's unfortunately that Papa God calling him this heavy. That's all. Papa God he get way, get plain long end. Time we go and by replacing one time man. And me like take. Antap nambian andi lo kopin tu emba komedi dasol. Long pinsim and tok antap long flower nami like pinsim this long kopin long. This la kopin only call him Megare Morata. This man sleep inside the kopin. Narbla kopin is start long up and Somare sleep long. Now start name him. Nami amas ni to thank you as a choosing one of the best as a man we can afford. Na black is income, the quality and by goal of ground. That's a good la passing. If we farewell man, along good la passing and sleep good. We bless Salem economy to thank you long man. Long now, 2 plus speaker me are also 2 plus talk finish. Also died long man. This is a country, it got me bless a believe la sorcery, na kind talk to me bless a believe long. When we know the truth, Papa God is a kissing man, na is a giving life, na is a kiss, is a kissing, giving life, na kissing back, and like na will Papa God as so. You know God money controlling. So suppose people like me too also close to Poroman age belong this man in the me too 1956. And born in 1956 and one age below me and died. So them too, Papa God is a controlling lifelong man. How you how you walk around, you one plus something basic something. That's all man is and one plus something you must be careful. Not like something you walk in exercise. There's no 2 ways. There's no narbla way. How you live and by narbla you stop long time or short time and how you treat live yourself. So please you may not can kiss him outside thinking passing. You may not can carry him down the parliament and this la. I mean good la. I can make black at plan every cross fight you come. Now trauma talk to you inside again. Bagrabi me black so. Me RM to black speaker talk to go. Yeah, Bruce Liglig na me like also. This la talk in a straight blood. Man in die one long. Good blood passing. And patri in die. You know man nothing die. Papa God kiss him back life long. Also na me talk sorry long. Him die. That's all. Papa God by giving not patri. Na me like talk thank you long or family long. Only come. Also if like mama papa producing one good blood man. And come walk now and go back. I'll say me talk sorry again. Now me like talk also. I'm good man. I'm also a personal friend of me. I'm so talk barada all the time. I'm so easy man. Time before me prime minister, I'm still close to 1 minute. Me like talk you come now. And this la beyond our court the Rausim I'm not go now. Now I'm come back again. All people through market and I come. So now I'm come start now. We talk thank you again. One more time all along. Walk him. Good luck passing. And peace. And setting long and we must be on it. Make your soul rest in peace.
The leader of the government business.
Thank you, Assistant Speaker. Me too, like him this time long. Give him bell sorry blow me. Long one pla strong pla Bougainvillian. Yumiolgatai give him account long how 1-1 You've been got experience one time, late Simon Dumarino. Me by Makim, President Lomi, His Excellency Ismail Torama, one time 600,000 people Blomi long Bougainville. More importantly, all family Blomi long central Bougainville, all family belong late Dumarino, long Ples, long M, long Orami. Long appreciate him, Papua New Guinea. Me kiss him 2 times long, express him gratitude blow me long, government long Papua New Guinea. Now it's one of you who sat you mandated leader belong this honorable house where you've been interact one time late Simon, now two one time Mipla Tripla member belong Bougainville. Nami hamamas long sampla expression belong all leaders long look save long Mipla all displa fopla leaders belong Bougainville. Where walkabout belong Mipla displa fopla leaders emi one pla different na special walkabout. Long Yumi, long National Parliament, long time Yumi planning walkabout below Yumi, long deliver or support him, all people below Yumi. Yumi got big pla 2050 vision. Now Yumi got all medium-term development plans. But no got one pla inside long this pla house, emi embrace him this pla 2001 peace agreement than the 4 leaders of Bougainville. You have your MTDP 4, we have the MTDP plus the peace agreement. Late Simon Domarinu is a testament and an embodiment of the 2001 peace agreement. Let me appreciate him, Governor Blomi long, Morobe, long you talk out long. All leaders were Mipla tu been losing inside long. This la 10th and 11th Parliament from Bougainville in a very short time. Let me remind this House, late Honorable Nakin died at the age of 72. Late Sam Akoitai died at the age of 60. And late Dumarinu, Emilusi Mimilo, age 68. Displa tripla leader Blomipla lo Bougainville. Only been stopped long age of 40 years old, somewhere around there. Now this last civil unrest even come up. They were at a mature age where they saw everything before them, and now they've taken the weight of the people. He come inside long this house. And whilst we have lost them, the desire of the people will continue within the next generation and the next generation. We must talk clear. The aspiration of the people of Bougainville is in their genes. Their desire is in their genes. the late Domarino, Yumi Tokemi, Papa Blong Peace Blo Bougainville, and he is. Me like Lusim, this la house. One time, some important words, me believe, this la passing Blong em, and me by helping you me. One time, clear vision, lo look long 97.7, like long people Blo Bougainville. Number one, something me like highlight him, lo yumi all gata leaders, Mr. Speaker. Help lo yumi all gata. Yumi save talk, but help lo yumi all gata. Country by nona go away, me suppose lo go long em, suppose yumi no healthy, na yumi no continue long, deliver long. All aspirations blow yumi, suppose body blow yumi, emi no strength. I witnessed it firsthand as a first-time MP long 2021 me come up as a Yankla regional member, triple leader blow me, one time aspiration blow Bougainville, only put down long hand blow me. Na me like share him this la message. By you play helping me play walk about in this la peace agreement. Time you will get that you look out in health. Triple leader blow me only die long heart disease and lifestyle disease. Good pla, Honorable Minister of Justice, and me talk long side lo kai kai, and it's true. You are what you eat. And I encourage all of us, for our people, for our children, that we are careful in what we eat. Second message, milak sherim, and this la talk long peace. Papua New Guinea, you may talk lo Bougainville got peace, but namelong Papua New Guinea too, you must got peace. You must got peace. Message lo Bougainville come back long Papua New Guinea, you must got peace. Help him community, lo you me long got peace. Let me start in the house to water. Papua New Guinea got peace. By you play helping me play too, walk about me play one time this la peace agreement. Me feel him awesome walk about lo Bougainville. And me kiss him long play time because plenty good play walk me like come up him long address him. Bougainville, you know got stability inside long Papua New Guinea. Now you mean no walk long address him quick. Agenda long Bougainville. So you need him peace. Peace in a talk by you not disagree. Peace and me allow him you lo disagree. I'm good pla. But you must make him lo good pla way. Last pla message from me. Ikam long people long Papua New Guinea, my leaders. Long Maki Mouse long. Triple member blom me. One time late father. This one word, Mr. Harim, good Prime Minister, blow Mr. use him, and many of you seniors you use, but I want to just highlight this word that you need to use, and you need to immerse yourself in this word that will help all of us with the Bougainville peace agreement. I want all of you to understand the meaning of empathy. Empathy. Please, so leaders, blow me lo Papua New Guinea. Understanding this word empathy, by you helping me resolve him, walk about me long peace agreement, lo kisim 97.7, like long all people. Where today, narpa leader, and me sit down, and me sleep in front lo yumi, M2 bin got this walk about long, conclude him, this peace agreement. Mr. Speaker, my honorable House, me talk thank you straight to Papua New Guinea. Lo you plasana ponte mi lo people of Bougainville, one time more leaders. Na me talk thank you. Lo one pla leader blo mi pla where we got this opportunity lo come long chambers so that the greater Papua New Guinea and leadership can acknowledge the good work that Bougainvillean leaders continue to uphold, which is the Bougainville Peace Agreement signed by both Papua New Guinea and Bougainville. which no other leaders have except the 4, including the regional member of Bougainville, where we embrace the peace agreement as a core business of our delivery of service on Bougainville, despite the many challenges that the greater PNG has. We talk thank you. Peace belong Christ, he can stop namelo yumi olgata. Word belong empathy can go inside lo heart below you so that I'm by helping you. Because yumi companies now long arre belong peace agreement. On behalf of my family, on behalf of my people of Bougainville, Mipla give him big talk thank you long national government. Now too, particularly the family of late Simon Dumarino. Lo yupla alay mem. Lo imi ken kisim heavy blo yumi. Lo walkabout blong Bougainville. Lo come na express him without fear or favor. Lo displa honorable house long Papua New Guinea. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The question is that a condolence motion moved by the Prime Minister be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. The ayes have it. As a mark of respect to the memory of the late honorable gentleman, I invite all members to rise in the places. I thank the Parliament. Leader of Government Business.
Mr. Speaker, I move that Parliament do now adjourn until tomorrow, 10 a.m.
Questions that the motion be agreed to. Those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Those against? The ayes have it. Honourable members, Parliament is now adjourned to 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.